What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of the Weekend Review. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and talk about the comings and goings on the channel. Honestly, pretty slow summer. Pretty slow summer as far as game releases go. Not a whole lot of things coming out right now that are catching my eye, but towards the end of the month, there's going to be some more interesting stuff here in July. For the people that have wondered, we actually missed a weekend review last week. I broke my leg, and so anyways, it's been very, very difficult for me to keep up with anything at the moment just because I'm like hobbling around, I'm like hopping on one foot everywhere. And so anyways, broke my leg, random accident, nothing serious, it just is a thing that happened. And so anyways, aside from that, this is the series where we talk about things that are happening on the channel, where series are going, where series are leaving to, and all that kind of fun stuff. At the moment, kind of a weird lineup on the channel. Very, very odd lineup on the channel at the moment. This actually might be one of the weirdest lineups that I've ever had on the channel. But at the same time, I am enjoying the vast majority of the titles that we've got on display here. I'm just kind of running through the list at the moment, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. So we'll start with Valhalla. Valhalla's kind of an odd game. I think the Valhalla was one of those titles that I didn't expect to be. Like, the game starts out very slowly, and it really makes you feel like you're playing like one of those anime, I don't know. I don't even know what to call them. Like those weird anime dating simulator type things that some people like to play. Like, I felt like it was gonna be one of those titles, but at the end of the day, it actually, if you give it a couple hours and you get into it, the game actually starts to pick up really, really well, and the bartending becomes secondary. That's what I like about the game, is that the bartending really doesn't take like center stage. It's mostly just like you listening to conversations, and you don't even really get to react to. I thought there would be like dialogue options and stuff like that too, so that you could push the conversation in one direction or the other, but really it doesn't go down like that either. It's mostly just you listening to the things that people say, and some people, I've been reading the forums a little bit. It's tough to do it without spoilers or anything like that, but I've been reading the forums a little bit, and it seems like you can serve people, like, let's say somebody comes in a bad mood and you give them like a happy drink. There are random triggers like that too, where you can give people the wrong drink on purpose and like make a mistake, and it'll basically change like the trajectory of the way the conversation goes, stuff like that. Haven't played around with it a whole lot because I believe in the integrity of the job that I am doing. If somebody asks for a specific liquor, that is what they get. If they want a brandy, damn it, they get a brandy. I understand the sacred duty of brandy to make a man feel better. So anyways, I like Valhalla. I like Valhalla a lot. I think that it's a little bit R-rated for me. Like, I think the situations that are inside the game are kind of head-scratchy. Like, I'm not sure that if it wasn't for the channel, I'm not sure it's something that I would play on my own, just because it's not the type of game that I get into, but I am glad that I've sat down and given it my attention. I think the artwork is pretty top-notch, and actually once you're about halfway through the game where like things start happening and like there's political intrigue and there's bombs going off and stuff like that, it starts to become an interesting little cyberpunk game where you start to realize like the shitty dystopian situation that all these people are living in, and that they're all just trying to scrape by, you and everybody else just sort of in this weird Baghdad, like, that's what I think of it like. It's kind of like a techno Baghdad type city where shit is constantly blowing up and chaos is constantly like 4 feet away. And so I am enjoying the title. I'm hoping, I mean, it's been humorous too. I've been surprised at the way they've been able to keep me laughing the entire time. I've played the game with a big old grin on my face this entire session, and it really, really surprises me. Very much a sleeper game for me right now, but we get those a lot on the channel. I'll be honest with you. I think we get sleeper games quite a bit on the channel, simply based on the fact that sometimes I go out on a limb with some of these things, and there's a lot of indie titles out there that have a lot of heart and really have something to show off, and like, you can't judge them at face value. I think that's what I've taken away from Valhalla, is that maybe, you know, I mean, by itself, it was already a pretty interesting title just because of the bartending twist. I was hoping it would be a little bit more of a game and a little bit less of like a visual novel with a tiny bartender mini-game inside of it. But at the end of the day, the mix has worked out pretty well, and I've liked it. I'm not sure if we're going to do a full playthrough. I hope we will. It largely depends upon the things that are coming out at the end of the month. We've got, after a slow period, I like to recover real strong, and it's very, very slow right now. It's just because nothing's coming out. That's really the truth of the matter, is like the things that are coming out either look uninteresting to me, or they're like on the line and I don't know if I want to promote them before I get the chance to play them or anything like that. Because I know to some people, the series that I play, they act as promotion for that game and people will go out and buy them and stuff like that. And so I just want to make sure first, before I put them up on the channel, just to like be positive that it's something that I want to sign my name off on. But yeah, Valhalla, you should check out the series. I think we're on like the 8th or the 9th episode right now. Things start to get interesting episode 9 or 10 is where you start getting the conversations that are no longer about my dog and my cat and, oh god, my girlfriend left me. You start to get, like, the real conversations about, like, bank robberies, terrorists, and stuff like that. And you start being like, oh shit, there's stuff going on in the world right now. In fact, we end up with a full-scale insurrection at one point, which is very, very interesting between several interested parties. Fun game. Fun game. Wayward. We brought out Wayward this week. Wayward was a game that I wanted to do a series on for a very, very long time and just didn't have an opportunity to do it. Like, at the time that it came out on YouTube, there was no space on the channel. Like, there was no place for me to put it, and it was like, well, I can do like 5 episodes a day and just work myself half to death here, or I can just shelve it, and I can hope that maybe down the line we end up with like a blank space like I did with Neo Scavenger, for example. I missed the Neo Scavenger release completely and totally, and then like years later I went through and I played it and we beat it on camera and all that kind of fun stuff. It was really, it was good. It was good, and I feel like we're kind of doing the same thing with the Wasted series. Wasted is kind of a unique game because in a lot of ways it's got kind of like a top-down JRPG feel, but mechanically I love the way that they've taken the UI and they've made it like super intuitive and they've made it just work. So many roguelikes just pride themselves on being inaccessible and just being like as difficult to figure out as possible with like dozens of hotkeys and things that they could really condense to like mouse menus and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that's a point of pride, and I think that's actually a major shot against the roguelike genre. If you look at the things that have done really, really well in the roguelike genre, you're looking at things like Tome, where they've streamlined a lot. They've got Auto Explore, they allow you to use the mouse, like everything is fully interactive, there's really not that many hotkeys. I don't know, I always get hung up on games like, I think that Cataclysm DDA is a big center right there where there's lots and lots of keys, and I'm not, please don't get antsy about it, I'm not down-talking Cataclysm DDA, I think it's a great game. The only reason I haven't played it on my channel yet is because the game is silent, and so I would have to orchestrate a soundtrack for the whole thing. And then on top of that, I just like sound effects and things. They help draw me into the game. And so I'm waiting for a sound pack to be developed for it. I've shelved it until a sound pack comes out, but I was a big Cataclysm DDA fan for a long time. But the one thing that I never liked about it was just the sheer volume of things you had to know on the keyboard once you got into like construction and everything else. It's a lot, and it's all menu-based, and it's all unintuitive, and it's all just kind of like all over the place with like Control-B and Control-C and all kinds of random combo keys too. I love the fact that some roguelikes have been like, cool, we're going to keep the aesthetic. That's fine because it's expected. You know, everybody expects you to have kind of either an ASCII or a low graphic format for your roguelikes. I don't know if I agree with that, but at the same time, it's something that I've come to expect from these genres. So, you know, you take what you can get. But they've gone and they've made the UI as nice as possible. In fact, what the UI reminds me of kind of are games like World of Warcraft, where it's all totally customizable. Like, you can download mods to put things wherever you want, like resize them and make them sexier and all that kind of stuff. I love that I can just put the UI wherever the hell I want it, get into the game and play. I do think the game drags a little bit when it comes to construction, but aside from that, I'm enjoying the game tremendously, and I'm glad to see a very positive reaction to it, because I'm always nervous about games like that, because it is a niche game. It is a survival game. We do play a lot of survival games here, but I can never quite tell what people are going to be into. I mean, it swings. Like, sometimes you get a series that people are really, really, really into for no reason at all, and then other times you get series that I think people will really, really like, and then it's just like, and oh well. And so anyways, Wayward, I'm glad to see that there is an audience and that people are enjoying the series. I'm enjoying it a lot, so it's going to be here for a while. So either way, if you don't like it, come back later, I guess? I don't really know. I'm still going to be playing the game. We're going to play it until we die. I think that not like in real life, like not until I'm on camera, but you know. Although I'm sure that would bring in the views, dying on camera. I'm sure somebody's tried it already. Somebody's already tried it. Be like, what if I die on stream? Oh, he's changing the way the game is played. Changing the way the game is played. Subnautica's back. That's fun. That's a factoid for the channel. Subnautica has shown, actually, Subnautica is developing at like a breakneck pace. That one patch they put out a month has definitely stacked up the last 5 or 6 months since I played the game. And there are a lot of things to get done. Like, they've added a lot of upgrades. They've added all kinds of things. And you know, they've done exactly what I would have recommended that they do with the title too. Make everything modular. That's the smartest idea. And what I mean by that is the gameplay is nestled inside gameplay when it comes to Subnautica. I like that a lot. My eye itches like crazy right now. You know, there's little bugs on your eyelashes, but you can't like see them or feel them because they're all microscopic and they like clean debris off and stuff like that. How crazy is that? The human body, man. Damn, is it disgusting. Anyways, Subnautica's back. I think we're probably going to be playing that one. I mean, we're on episode 13 right now. 14-ish. 13 to 14ish, and we still haven't even like gotten all the pieces of the Cyclops. We still haven't, like, there's a lot of things that we need to get done. I would say that we'll probably go 20-25 episodes on it before we run out of content, and it's the beginning of the month, and so the developers almost always drop a patch between the 1st and like the 5th of the month, and so I'm waiting to see if this Tuesday we get a content patch. The next content patch, I can't recall what it was, but I think it adds a bunch of sea monsters and other random stuff. I was looking at the blog the other day, but my memory is terrible, so I can't remember what they're adding next, but the gameplay is modular in Subnautica, meaning like you work on a module, like the Seamoth, and then once the Seamoth is done, there are modules inside that module that you now have to work on. That's a great feature because it gives you kind of like, I don't know if a Skinner box is the proper, I'm not sure if that's the proper term. But anyways, it gives you incentive to keep working on things. Like once you get the Seamoth, you're not done with it now. The Seamoth instantaneously got boring after like an hour of having it when I first built it in the original build because there was nothing left to do with it. It was just like this thing that you start to take for granted because you have it around. Now you've got all these modules and things that you can upgrade and you can move around and you can change its spec around a little bit to make it do different things, dive deeper, take more damage, so on and so forth, to protect itself, which is very, very important, as we learned in the stream this week. Speaking of which, Twitch TV/SplatterCatGaming, you can stop on by. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to see your face. I'd love to see your text anyways. And, we learned that in the stream, the little shocky thing that the Seamoth can now be equipped with where it tasers the water. Yeah, you're going to want to have that. That's a pretty good module right there. That is a useful-ass module. But anyways, I like that a lot. When we get the Cyclops, there's going to be tons of stuff we can upgrade with the Cyclops as well. We're going to be looking around for those upgrade modules, and so I can see this one running for a little bit. There are other games that I'd like to put up on the channel. I know that there are things that have gotten patches recently, and I am kind of leaning towards, anytime it's slow, I lean towards survival games just because I know that there'll be a hit on the channel. But anyways, I'm leaning towards 7 Days to Die, which is another game that I was very, very surprised about. 7 Days to Die, I streamed it last week, and I was like, holy shit, this game has come a long way. This game has come like a really, really long way. Like, I played the game probably a year ago, or whenever the first alpha came out, when it was like Alpha 2 or Alpha 3, and was just not in love with it at all. I was like, it just didn't do it for me. And I'm surprised. I was playing it fully expecting to be disappointed because so many people had hyped it up to me. And 7 Days to Die is looking like it might get a series. RimWorld is looking like it might get a series right now. Other things that are looking like, I think Stranded Deep recently got an update or something like that. It got like a bow, well, that was about a month ago. It got bows, arrows, boars, and snakes. I don't know if that's enough to bring me back. That game's developing kind of slow, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. But either way, Subnautica's been going great, and I'm looking forward to playing it for at least another couple of weeks until we run out of content. There are other islands and biomes and things that we need to go to. We need to go to the mountain biome very, very badly, but the mountain biome is a bit stressful. There are a lot of Reapers out there. It is like a cesspool of Reapers. It is just like, you know how like you get a puddle and it has like a bunch of little tadpoles and shit in it? Imagine the tadpoles as Reapers and you as like a microbe. We also have Wasted on the channel right now, and Wasted is in kind of a weird place. I feel like it's gotten a little bit long-winded, like it's taken too long to resolve itself. I don't know, it just doesn't bring enough variety. Like, it is a fun game and the sense of humor is great. It's just you kind of do the same thing over and over and over and over again with no variability. I'm having the same problem with it that I'm having with Fallout 4. I'm playing Fallout 4 right now, and Fallout 4 is the same way. You either build shit or you just go into random buildings over and over and over again and ad nauseum until you get bored. And so anyways, Wasted might take a little siesta. I'm not sure. I know we've got like 2 more dungeons we need to do, and then like a final boss and like some other stuff. But I don't know. We'll sort it out. I do like the game, and I do think it's pretty awesome. We ran into a major hiccup this week. That doesn't really have to do with me getting rid of it or anything like that. It's just more that it just feels really, really just like samey. Just like same old over and over and over and over again. And so, I don't know. I'll keep an eye on public interest and sort of weigh that versus it. I mean, all the series right now, it's tough because all the series we have going right now, excluding Valhalla, are doing really, really well. Valhalla has a very, very vocal minority watching it, though. Like, weirdly enough, there's not a ton of people watching Valhalla, but at the same time, they're very, very vocal about it. Lots of comments, lots of discussions, stuff like that. I like to see people happy about a series like that, and it's rare. Like, normally by the time you get to, like, your 10th episode or whatever, there's, like, 4 people commenting, and you're like, yeah, whatever, you know? you don't feel so bad about letting it go. But if there's like a really, really dedicated block of people that like it, chances are it'll probably stick around for a while. Aside from that, Space Run Galaxy, I went ahead and set that one aside just because there was a lot of like off-camera, grindy type stuff you had to do, and I frankly just don't have time for it. That's really... Like, if I have to do things off-camera right now between the broken leg and other health issues that I have going on, I spend almost all my time, like, at doctors and specialists' office right now in between, and so... Like, when I sit down, it has to be a game where we can accomplish stuff, and it was probably bad planning on my part. I wasn't planning on getting injured and sick and whatever else. And so, things that require me to do a lot of stuff outside the game, it's not getting done right now. I barely got time to sleep right now, all things considered. And so, anyways, I went ahead and I set it aside. I felt like we saw the main gist of the gameplay anyways. We started to get some of the more difficult missions so that you could see what those look like and make an informed purchase and decide whether or not that's a game that you wanted to try out. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it's a tower defense game, which always makes me a little bit antsy in the pantsy about putting it on the channel. But I like Space Run Galaxy. Don't let its absence from the channel alert you and make you feel like I don't like the game. I love the game, and I'm playing it on my own right now. So keep that in mind. Last week with Weekly Indie Newcomer, we had Zombie Night Terror, which I've actually had in my Steam inventory now for probably 2 or 3 months. It's just been sitting there, and I wasn't really sure when I wanted to do an episode on it. But, you know, I sat down, I didn't have much else going on, so I said, yeah, let's play some Zombie Night Terror. I like what they got going on with that game. They got a real Lemmings vibe to it. Or at least like a very, it's a very puzzly game, because at the same time, you could play through an entire level and screw up like the last couple steps, and just be like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. Let me look at the way that this works. And as it gets more complicated, the game is a lot of fun. There are some really, really crazy levels in that game once you get further in that really leave you like scratching your head and being like, how do I get everybody? How do I eat all the humans? How do I reduce them all to a fine pool of viscera? And I definitely did some head scratching during that series, and not just because I'm bad at bathing. Not just because I'm bad at bathing. But yeah, Zombie Night Terror. If you haven't seen it, it's essentially a game where you lead a line of zombies through a map of differing sizes, shapes, and all that kind of stuff. And you've got to keep your zombie horde alive while eating all the people on the map. And you can move them around by mutating them. So some zombies are pointers. They're like commanders that tell all the other zombies where to go, like which direction to walk when there's like a split or a junction. You get jumping zombies that have claws and can climb through vents. You get exploding zombies that can take out walls. Very, very interesting little game. And actually, I feel like it would be right at home on like a phone. It feels like a phone game, but it's pretty like a PC game. It's a very, very strange title like that, but I love the pixel art. Oh my god. Gorgeous pixel art. For a black and white like noir game, oh my god, the pixel art is absolutely fantastic. Like, some of the explosion animations and stuff like that, it's like, damn, somebody put some work into these. So anyways, I was a big fan of Zombie Night Terror. Check it out on last week's Weekly Indie Newcomer. As to why there's no Weekly Indie Newcomer this week, there just wasn't anything that jumped out at me. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I know that, like, I know from developers telling me that when I post my videos, they get, like, an upsurge in sales or whatever. And so I feel like I have an added responsibility that if, like, I'm not into anything this week, I'm just not going to put up a video, because I would rather just not have a video up than have a whole bunch of people buy a game off of, you know, a recommendation or whatever on a title that I'm really, and I would say that in the video, I'd say that I'm kind of lukewarm on it, but I really don't like doing negative Weekly Indie Newcomers. I sincerely don't. I like to keep it a positive series where I only show off things that I like on there. I never meant for it to become like a review series where I can like pan a game or anything like that, because I don't want to be negative. If a game is bad, I'm just not going to play it, and if somebody asks, I'm going to be like, that game's bad and I don't like it. But if it's good, that's what Weekly Indie Newcomer's for. And this week I just didn't have anything. I just flat out did not have anything this week. I had a couple things that I was kind of like 6, 7 out of 10 on, and I was like, well, I could put them in an episode, but I don't know. And so anyways, there it is. That's pretty much all that we got going on the channel right now. Very, very slow period for the channel. Don't really care. Roll Forward is doing fantastically. If you haven't actually stopped by on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we play Shadowrun Tabletop. Me, Enter Elysium, Shenmue, Avik, and Steejo. We play it for 4 to 5 hours at a time, and it's just been going great. It started out with like 500 viewers between all of our channels, and we're up to about 1,000 viewers now, and it's really taking off. It's turning into like one of those things where we're having to evaluate what we want to do with it, and just be like, damn, this could be like a thing. And so anyways, if you haven't stopped on in, that's doing fantastically. It's a lot of fun. I think we probably have one of the best, most entertaining tabletop groups I've ever seen. It's an absolutely fascinating playthrough. If you wanted to watch the backup VODs, watch them on Enter Elysium's channel. I couldn't get them on my channel because there are little technical things that need to be worked out with the VODs every single week just due to Twitch being Twitch. And I haven't had the time to fix all those things. I have them all on my hard drive and I've been sitting around fixing them like when I can. But it's just like I haven't had the time. It may come back to the channel soon. I'm going to try my best to make it happen. But anyways, I'll keep you posted on that. We'll see what happens with the video uploads as well. But you should definitely stop by twitch.tv/ROLL4 Roll for it, and it's a blast. We might be playing some Dark Heresy later on, a little bit of D&D, but for right now we're playing a lot of Shadowrun. I am the driver. I am the Dwarvish Rigger. It's pretty awesome. I shoot fools, and I'm bulletproof. I can't be shot. We've been playing for 3 months, and I've never been shot. I dodge it every single time. Every single time. I can be blown up, though. C4 does a number. So I can be exploded. Just be aware. I can be exploded, but I can't be shot, stabbed, or punched. Well, I can be punched, too. I've been punched and I've been choked, but I've never been shot. I'd take the punching or the choking over the shooting, I think. But anyways, yeah, stop by with Roll For It. Also, if you haven't stopped on by, Twitch TV for me is blowing up as well. Twitch TV/Splattercat Gaming. Stop on in. It's a lot of fun. It is not safe for work. Normally on the channel, I keep it family friendly. Twitch TV for me is like my after hours kind of comedy whatever, where I can just cut loose and I can make whatever jokes I want, and it definitely toes the line sometimes. So keep that in mind. Don't watch with your kids unless they're like older kids, and even then, probably I might be tainting their mind. So anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's gone from like, I don't know, in a couple of months, it's gone from like 120 viewers per stream. I'm up to like 500 to 600 people per stream now, and it's just going crazy. I mean, it's really, I'm at a weird junction point in my career right now on YouTube where I have like a lot of options, and like all of them could potentially be like a thing that I do full time. Like I could do Roll For It full time, I could do YouTube full time, I could do Twitch full time, but I can't do all of them full time. And so anyways, at the end of the month, I'm having to make a couple calls here as to how I want to balance my life out. Definitely burning the candle at both ends right now with regards to Twitch streaming and YouTube and Roll For It and everything else. And so anyways, what might end up happening is I might cut down to like 1 to 2 videos a day on the channel at the end of the summer. So we'll just keep like the stuff that I'm really, really excited about, and then we'll probably stream like 6 hours a day, whatever I miss like that, and then I'll put the VODs up as extra content. I'm not really sure. You know, I'm playing with a lot of ideas right now. I do think things need to be mixed up, things need to be changed, but either way, I'm kind of rolling with it. You know, que sera, sera, Hakuna Matata, and all that shit. This is the weekend review. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least that it was enlightening for you. It's a weekend series that was backed by the Patreon backers. That's what backers do, apparently. They back things. And so when you get to a certain threshold of donations per month, you get a new series. The next one up is where I invite other YouTubers over. We talk for a little while, maybe while playing a game or something like that. At 25 minutes, you can suggest the YouTubers that you like. I think that's a little ways off, but you know, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. If you liked this, don't forget to go ahead and check out all the videos that I mentioned. They are a lot of fun, and I will see you all 2 weeks. I had to do math, sorry, it made my brain stop. Bye.